Alright, decided to do a quick video after having this match happen. They were genuinely trying to get things done. I have a lot of questions about the sanity of their builds. Both of the Jeffs were playing Jeffzilla builds, which make you a giant target. I have reason to think that Chandelure'w was in fact just either buying every card or using the mystery box to buy all of her cards, because she, as you can see here, she has the yellow dot here. That means that she's playing a human form magic build where you don't go Darkchild, and she had a whole bunch of Darkchild cards equipped. Like you can see this thing here. It's like this is like shows how many of the cards you bought, I guess. Mooseman seemingly has the red cards and the blue cards. I don't really understand how Jeff works, so I'm not sure if that's actually a bad thing. Mooseman, however, was the person who had the second most damage and the least deaths of my teammates, so he was doing something right. Seemed to be using a very similar build to Watson, actually. Watson just wasn't doing as well. That's your how. Anyway, me having 581 is because I got some of those moon power things where you get bonus moon coins relatively. Well, I got them early enough in the match that they were actually worth buying. The thing is, though, is that the moon power cards, being in nightmare mode makes them a lot more valuable than they are before you get into nightmare mode. Before nightmare mode, you're probably just not going to get 10 coins out of them, so buying them is a waste of time. But after you're starting in nightmare mode, especially if you get them early match, they can add up. Because like these guys, 525, I had 581. Yeah, that matters. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I don't really understand the Jeffing. But let's load in and skip to the end, because honestly, I died twice in this one. One of them was because I accidentally hit the window key on my keyboard, which caused me to temporarily exit the match. And I ended up getting killed because I was functionally away from the keyboard. Anyways, so this is just okay. There, actually have a proper point of view. Like, see here, this is the final round of the game. So after this boss fight, game over. Get to the MVP screen. I have 206 of the purple cards. I'm not sure if this is the actual number of cards or the total number of coins spent on them. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, see how it has like the 3 here on the quantity stuff? Yeah. 0 of the blue cards. Why? Because I can't use a single one of them since I never entered Darkchild form. Can't use them. Don't buy them. Also, the reason why I refuse to buy mystery boxes is because of the fact that, as far as I can tell, the mystery boxes do not actually care whether you are doing a red build or a blue build. They will just give you anything at all, as far as I know anyways. I only actually did one match buying mystery boxes, and what I remember from that match was that it gave me a whole bunch of random nonsense. Anyways, let's check the other players. Watson. Now, Watson, this is what I was saying earlier about, mixing things. It's like, this is almost a perfect split between red, blue, and purple. Given that I don't actually fully understand the way to play Jeff, and I'm not sure these guys do either because of how often they died, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. Chandelure'w. Chandelure'w has a bunch of blue cards. They're, less numerous than the red ones and the purple ones, but still has several of them. That's not a good thing. Bad min-maxing. Also, I have to question what exactly the logic being used here was. Is because, like, certain purple cards I'll buy, certain purple cards I won't. And I actually found that I do a lot better when well, it's like I said, I focus on maximizing soul armor, and maximizing soul armor means really, really heavy investment on red so that I can attack practically everything on the screen all at once and do this kind of like whirlwind flurry, pummeling everything. Let's see what Mooseman did. What? Did you notice the difference between Mooseman and Watson? Watson has a total, let's see here, 358, I think? Yeah, I think 358 points. Mooseman has a lot more than that. Yeah, Mooseman has over 500. Huh? Did Watson just not spend all of his points he got? I don't know. This would explain why Mooseman was just doing so much better. Mooseman just has that many more cards juicing him up. Wow. I still have to question why mixing red and blue, though. Don't fully understand how to play Jeff. And that's in general. I have never even tried to play Jeff in Zombies. Yeah, I've only played Mad. Okay, I did like one game as not mentioned. Anyway, you know what? I will exit this replay. Hopefully it won't crash like it did last time. Well, okay, the game locked up. It didn't crash. Okay, there. Wait, actually, I was going to open a different replay. Scroll down, like way down. All of the zombies. Okay. Nope, that one's not in here anymore. Never mind. Yeah. I was going to go back and look at like the one of the first two I did, because I ended up playing as the Punisher in one of them, despite not actually knowing what the heck I was doing. But apparently that particular replay is no longer in the history. Oh well. Anyway, let's move on to looking at what all of the cards do, and explain my logic behind why I only use certain ones. I love the fact that you can look at the Khonshu's blessings thing outside a match, where you're not in the process of like, oh hey, what does this do? And right, rampaging across the screen. Anyway, so vitality boost. I don't touch the stuff. Why? Yes, I know. My soul armor is a lot smaller than my real HP. Like, when you looked at my thing there, it's like the soul armor was like a third. So, if I take a hard enough hit, it will blast through the soul armor and do damage to my real HP. However, I refresh the soul armor with every single attack. So, unless it blasts through the soul armor in one shot, or getting hit simultaneously by multiple things, well, like that incident with the flaming zombies, okay? I had like 4 of them explode in my face. Spike damage, great enough to not only blast through the soul armor, but also all of my real HP too. That, okay. Anyway, though, vitality boost, I don't see them as a negative overall. Honestly, I would see it. It's not dying is always better than dying. But I prefer getting the offensive things. Power Surge, love it. I take all 4 ranks of it if I can. There are so many ranks of Power Surge. This is actually an interesting thing, and the reason why I have more purple cards than red cards, despite the fact that I literally take every single red card I get almost. Okay, not every single one, but nearly all of them. Because the game gives you more purple cards. It just does. Anyway, Vitality Boost, I'm bothered with that. Power Surge, love it. Moonlight Protection. This is also something I grab whenever it comes up, because the fact that my understanding of this is that this is just, it reduces incoming damage in general, which reduces the damage that my soul armor takes, which means that I also take less real HP damage. Which, you know, kind of important. So, like, something that would do 4,000 damage to me, just as a ballpark figure, you know, reduce that by 5%, and it goes from one-shotting me to being a survivable hit. Granted, I wouldn't want to take hits like that often, but, you know. Anyways. Again, Vitality Boost, don't care. Power Surge, love it. Zeus's Thunder. It's just bonus damage. I don't dislike it, but I actually found that the build seems to work better when I avoid taking it. I'm not entirely sure why. My best guess is because of the fact that other than being bonus damage, it's not really all that great. So, you know. Also, my understanding of Primordial Frost and Zeus's Thunder is that I only get soul armor from attacking with my soul sword. Those don't give me soul armor. The benefit of Primordial Frost is that frozen enemies stop moving, which not only causes them to not attack you, but will also body block other enemies sometimes. So when you have crowds, yes, it has a 3% chance per enemy to freeze enemies. That sounds terrible until you realize that it's every single time you do a sword swing, it does that 3% chance. And also, it's 3% per enemy. When there's 40 enemies on the screen, which can happen actually. When there's 40 enemies on the screen, 3% chance per enemy, you're probably going to get it at least once. Anyway though, moving on. Here's the ones that are really interesting. Restorative Respire, Full Moon, and Vampiric Vitality. Vampiric Vitality is probably the best way to heal real HP damage in the entire game. Like, seriously. Magic doesn't have any innate abilities that restore real HP damage. Soul Armor mitigates incoming damage and does it quite well, but it will not actually restore real HP damage. I actually don't think a Darkchild-centric build can heal real HP damage innately either. Also, the cards in a Darkchild-centric build for giving you bonus soul armor are more expensive, but I'll get back to that later. Then you have the Full Moon card. Like I mentioned before, if you get this early on, it might actually be worth it. If you get it relatively late, probably don't bother with it, because it costs you 10 coins to buy it. If the plus 10% that you get from it's only like 3, whatever. But yeah, it's like wave 1 out of 15. Getting this, you are golden. Anyway though, Vampiric Vitality, great heal. Restorative Respire. I avoid this one like the plague. Why? To my understanding, and I could be wrong, when it says out of combat, you're probably not going to be out of combat for more than the time between rounds. Yeah, being actually out of combat, at least in nightmare mode. Because, like, the non-nightmare mode will have times when you're, like, walking from place to place. That would actually give you a significant amount of health restoration being out of combat, because you're walking from one fight to another. Nightmare mode, you have a pause to rearm for a few seconds. Like, I think it's like 45 seconds total, but between rounds, and that's it. That's all you're going to get restored to respire. Yeah, so I avoid it. Anyway, so let's move on at the magic cards. I'm actually seriously considering doing a stream of myself trying out a Darkchild build, because I've never tried out a Darkchild build, and you can respec for free, so I can just switch from a regular magic build to a Darkchild build. Darkchild builds like have certain things that are just more expensive, though, like Immortal Demon. This would be a 5-point card if it on regular magic, because it's the equivalent of the Arcane Armor thing. Actually, no, Arcane Armor is actually a 3-point card. Really great card. I take it every time I get it. Actually, honestly, I just take all of the red cards. Like, all of them are something that helps. Like, Soul Mark, Blast Range, and Blast Damage. Those are useful. Again, it goes with the thing with, like, I mentioned, like, Zeus's Thunder, where it doesn't actually give you Soul Armor when that triggers, but whatever. Normal form, Soul Mark bonus damage, plus 16%, and damage reduction. The damage reduction from Soul Marks doesn't sound great until you realize that you having multiples of this increases the potency of it, and also it applies to boss damage. Yeah, that's kind of important. Using Soul Mark to reduce boss attack damage, that adds up faster than you would think. The rest of this is all pretty simple stuff. Increase the range of your Soul Sword attack. Yeah, that's what gives you the ability to cover the entire screen. Get a whole bunch of Soul Domain cards, and it will let you hit things that are way, way, way outside your normal attack range. Like, oh, only plus 6%. Yeah, by the time I'm done with a match, it's more like plus 70% or some. The range is insane. Increasing the attack speed. This is another thing I noticed that's interesting, is that human form magic actually has a higher attack speed than demon form magic. When you're looking at the way that the cards math out. I'm not sure if that's actually correct, but that's what it looks like to me. I mean, Soul Domain. Oh, this is just a higher tier version. I'll explain why I like that. Arcane Armor. This gives you more. It increases your maximum capacity on Soul Armor, so it lets you like have a thicker shell for Soul Armor, and also it increases the rate at which you gain Soul Armor. Honestly, the conversion rate plus 3% really isn't that big of a deal, because after you stack all of this stuff, the amount of damage you will be doing to enemies will max out your Soul Armor almost every time you swing your sword. Increasing the conversion rate matters more when you're doing boss fights, like 1v1ing Wanda. 1v1ing Wanda, you need a higher conversion rate to get, refresh your Soul Armor better. When it's mass enemies, though, who cares about the conversion rate? But the max bonus health is always helpful. Okay, Arcane Sword Dance, again, plus speed, plus damage, always good stuff. Devouring Sigil. Yeah, I already explained that when I was looking at the higher tier version. Arcane Sword Dance, Mark Detonation. Yeah, same thing. Innate Slash. Honestly, the gold Innate Slash, the amount of bonus damage it gives you is insane. And somehow, this actually looks like a bigger number, but somehow from seeing other people play Darkchild, it feels weaker, and I don't understand how. I think what it is that Darkchild builds actually have a lower attack speed. The raw damage is better, but because like, see, like this here grants bonus damage for every enemy within 5 meters. Have multiple copies of Suffering Sphere. It extends the range of Suffering Sphere and the total amount of damage it gives you. Cool. You're still not attacking that often. Because like this is actually something that gets interesting when you do the like mathing of the math, is that having a lower attack rate means you're refreshing soul armor less often. Because demon form magic still gets soul armor. That's what it means when it says Limbo's Might, bonus health conversion. That's the soul armor gimmick. And for some reason, demon form magic has those cards at 5 points and 10 points, which, granted, they are actually the amount of bonus health they get is actually pretty good. Because like human form magic, that one is a 3-point card right here. This is a 5-point card, which gives you double the bonus health, which is good. And this is a 10-point card, which gives you 4 times the bonus health. And also a higher conversion rate. It's the Immortal Demon one, that's a gold quality one, is equal to having 2 of the purple quality ones, which is good in terms of like scaling. The weird thing with the Darkchild though is that instead of getting attack speed ups, you get base health ups. The size of the bonus damage ones is greater. But oh wait, here's one that actually gives you an increased attack speed, Frenzied Slash. But it caps out at 12%. You don't get them at purple tier or gold tier. Okay, so she does get some things that increase the attack speed as Darkchild, but they're not as good. Be like this. I have Arcane Sword Dance at 30%. That is way, way better. Like this is only 3% of a bonus on the Frenzied Slash. This is 12% on the blue quality one. That's nowhere near as good of an attack speed. Oh, and also the attack speed bonuses you get from Arcane Sword Dance are a lot higher, even at the same level. So, you know, as a Darkchild build, you're just not attacking as often. Individual hits, you hit harder, but also this means that you're not going to have as much soul armor. Because of the fact that you have a soul armor cap, you hit the soul armor cap, and then you have to attack again to refresh that. Which, maybe that's not going to work as well. Anyway, I've never tried a Darkchild build. I'm going to do... I have only a few days left in this event, so I'm going to have to do that like tomorrow or sometime later this week. Anyway. But yeah, it's like... I basically just gotta grab all the red cards for Magic. Just all the red cards, none of the blue cards, because Magic is very bipolar in this regard. Either you do a red build or you do a blue build. There is no in between. Don't understand how that worked with Jeff. Especially the giant Jeff. But whatever. Anyways, that is all for now. See you guys later.